This stream was made possible thanks to my amazing Patreon supporters, so thank you all so much for your support, and a great big thanks to the Dastardly DMs, Whimsical Wisp and Moxie the Demon. So, last time you were just about to go into the haunted ancient barrow type thing, converted into a mine shaft of sorts, when all of a sudden you were pulled through time and space.
I love the bardcore Doctor Who theme.
Yes. So, as you are just about to enter the mines with the rest of your party, all of a sudden, the next step you take is in mid-air, and you feel yourself falling. You've experienced this a couple of times, but not enough for your stomach to not immediately hit your throat. So you are tumbling down this timey-wimey space tunnel, and you have no idea where you are going to end up. Suddenly, the tumultuous journey comes to an abrupt halt, and you are violently deposited onto the ground of a bleak and desolate landscape. Your tattoo writhes and stretches across your arm. You realize that you are in nowhere, a place you've read about, heard about, but never been. The air is thick with the stench of decay. Not dead bodies, but rather just dead trees, dead plant life. Twisted trees kind of loom ominously overhead, casting eerie shadows. And you can hear odd chittering in the distance. As you look around yourself, you see very little in this, very little of note in this barren kind of landscape. Although you do notice a small flickering light just downhill. It's quite a distance away. When I say downhill, I mean it's a big hill. A very steep kind of pathway, but you are very sure it is the pathway. This has been carved by someone at some time. What would you like to do?
Sean takes a good look around, taking in his surroundings. Nowhere. Mirror to the Feywild.
in the opposite direction. I wonder if it truly is as bad as he always said.
Just as you voice that thought, a screech can be heard as you look overhead and see a massive bat-like creature flying overhead. It has something in its mouth that appears to be some sort of large mammal, like a deer, although it's too hard to tell.
When in a land of dark, the light will either be a haven or a trap. I suppose I don't have a better option, though, at this time. Might as well head on down.
Alright.
And he begins to walk cautiously towards the light.
So, as you navigate through the twisted pathways with the gnarled trees leaning over the top of you and murky, shallow swampland, you hear a haunting whisper. It's not like the whispers and the crying of the ghosts that you've seen in your previous encounter, but rather this one has definite direction to it. It is in the trees. I want you to give me a wisdom save, please.
I'm trying to. 1 second.
No worries.
Ability check. Oh, there we go.
Nice, perfect first roll. Okay. As the whispers above you, basically try and like earwig into your head, it gets louder and louder, and it's starting to like echo around your head as though it were an empty chamber, doubling, then tripling, and so on and so on. And you manage to force, through sheer will, force yourself out of that situation, and the whisper becomes but one once again. Just a lonely whisper in the trees.
Little lost soul, you should pay attention to your prey. I'm a demon, and we eat souls for breakfast. This is a bit of a bluff. I don't think Sean knows if night hags can eat souls, but he's definitely heard stories of demons and devils consuming the souls of innocents.
Yeah, you can roll me intimidation for that.
If only he wasn't bad at it, but still, not bad.
Yeah. Cool, very good. So, yes, with that speech, a small figure can be seen darting from treetop to treetop, just back the way that you came. It could have been... It was roughly halfling sized, I'd say. But it did have like a strange, viscous, like oily appearance to it.
Of course.
And you continue. So, heading through and past, you eventually arrive at the top of a small cliff you can see directly. It's about 15 foot tall. It's not that tall, and you can see just over the edge a campfire and someone sat at the campfire. They have a hood up, and they are just quietly eating what appears to be a stew of some sort. They too are quite small, halfling or gnome sized. You can see the path continues to wind down from the cliff, and you can make your way down there, which would end up with you coming around in front of him, or you can go down the cliff to be behind him. It's up to you.
Sean is going to look up the cliff, and I think he's going to go ahead and just call out to the person there. Not too loud, just loud enough. Hello, traveler. Have you room at that campfire for one more?
Greetings. Of course. Plenty of grub.
And Sean's gonna kind of climb his way up to the campfire.
Okie doke. So, arriving, you see this small figure sat in front of you, the flames barely illuminating his face beneath his hood as he says,
Hi.
and he reaches into his bag.
I'm
Sorry, voice got a bit weird there. Hi, I'm Grimble. And he hands you a piece of bread.
The name's Kashawn. Pleasure is mine.
So he reaches into his bag, takes out a piece of bread. He checks to see if it's still good, and tears a bit in half and hands it to you. Stays warm.
I appreciate it.
So,
I can't provide much in return tonight, but in the morrow I can give you good berries for your trouble.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate it. I like good berries. So, what brings you to these dreary parts?
I have not yet managed to pick the landing when teleporting. Found myself stumbling through different domains before. First time here in nowhere, though. Yourself?
Oh, just a bit of plane hopping here and there. Never a dull moment. Let me tell you, I once crossed paths with a creature made entirely of jellyfish. Quite a sticky situation, I tell you.
Sounds fantastical. I myself just slew an aberrant infected shark with some compatriots. It was quite the adventure.
So long as it wasn't a hag, they're terrifying.
Yes, we quite often are.
You see his eyes kind of widen a little bit in terror before he sees you eating the bread, and he just kind of like makes a quick judgment call about you and relaxes again. So he says, well, I might not look like much, but I've got a knack for finding my way around these plains. So if you're looking for a way home,
in the past, I've managed to just stumble my way back. I have an anchor of sorts that my compatriots are carrying around with them. But I don't know, I've never been in nowhere before.
well, it's not great.
Not certain. Yes. Doesn't seem to be. Some lost child started laughing at me and tried to get inside my head.
Oh, those. Yeah, you don't want to mess with those guys. They've had a real string of bad luck lately. That's actually why I'm here.
Hmm.
And he said,
So you came here willingly?
willingly is a strong word. I have been commissioned to be here by my lady, my goddess, Tamora.
Hearing the words Tamora and Grimble, does this raise anything in Kashan's memory from history? Or did he never fall into the public consciousness?
You can roll me history.
Like a certain kobold did.
You can certainly roll me history. Let's see. Holy! You've got some good rolls. Okay. Yes. So, there have been stories about a strange little grey gnome who would show up when people were having really bad, well, essentially bad luck, but basically things were going really wrong, and somebody would show up, little gnome, usually have some bread with him, some stew. His name was either Bimble or Gimble or Jimble or something like that, but nobody ever saw him long enough to actually it's Doctor Who, ever actually get his name fully. So, but he always carried a pendant around his neck, which was the marker that people recognized more than anything else, and it had a depiction of Tamora on it, and this fellow in front of you also has the same pendant.
Tell me, you wouldn't happen to be the Grimble of legend, Tamora's Red Knight? Or are you just named after him?
The Bread Knight, I love it. It's canon now, right? Yeah, he says, well, I don't really know. I haven't stuck around most places to really read up, but people are talking about me.
Here and there.
Ooh. And he's like on his like third loaf of bread at this stage. He says, well, I have and he reaches into his bag and he says, I really wouldn't recommend sticking around here for much longer. It is about to get dangerous, and you can, let me see, let's just double check something real quick. There we go. Okay, cool. So he takes up a... Where's the... Okay, cool. He takes up a bit of... come on. What's this called? Jacinth. A small kind of yellowy brown crystal, and casts a spell. With this, he also throws one for you to catch. And when you do, both of you are instantaneously kind of teleported, just like 1,000 foot in the air. You are floating. You can just about see your bodies are still down there. And you can see in the distance just thousands of these bad creatures nesting and roosting around a small, what appears to be a village. Whenever you see that, the spell ends, and you can roll me Arcana for that, please.
I may be quite adept at combat, but I don't think even the two of us together could weather such a storm of bats.
So with your 17, you recognize the spell as astral projection, a 9th level spell, and realize that this little gnome in front of you is very, very powerful.
Though if you can astral project 2 people at once, well, perhaps I could just be here for moral support.
He says, well, I was mostly just showing you because things are about to get very nasty in here. So he hands you his just a bag of bread, right? And he says, look after that for me, will you? And hopefully I'll see you soon. And he says one last thing as he hands you a small shard of what appears to be obsidian. He says, where is that? Got so many tabs. Sorry. Okay, yes. He says, that's a shard. That's a shard of a cubic git. You just need a couple more, and you should be able to teleport from plane to plane. It's mostly useful for getting home in a jiffy. So, he says, unfortunately, it's broken. So, if you use it now, it'll just bring you to the closest other shard, and you can hear the bats like screeching in unison as like they're starting to approach. I really think you should get going.
I think so as well. When I use the shard, does it lose its power forever?
He says, no. Well, you should be able to use it after so many days of rest.
Let's see.
But once you collect
Thank you.
all of them, it'll all work together, and you can do that, and you can hear the bats come in. He's like, okay, bye.
All right.
And basically you throw it. Have you seen Sonic, the movie?
I have not, but I saw the commercials, so
Alright, so
I see how the rings work.
yes, yeah, it's like that. You throw it and it becomes a little portal and you head through. Just as you do so, you find yourself stepping through into a wave of searing heat and the stench of brimstone. Flames lick at the blackened sky above, casting flickering shadows across the jagged landscape.
Might say home sweet home.
So as Grimble described, you throw the shard and it will bring you to the closest next piece of the cube for you to put them together, essentially. So as you arrive, you see just double check. Yeah, okay. You see a small encampment up ahead. It is filled with red devils. Most of them are humanoid. They might be, they might even be tieflings by appearance. But there is one rather large one up ahead, and you can feel the pull of your shard leading you that direction. Also, you feel your the mark on the back of your neck start to burn.
Of course. And in hell, who else the devils do, I suppose. And he is going to begin to just slowly make his way towards the camp, cautiously keeping an eye out for surprise attacks.
Okie doke. So, yes, could you roll me perception then?
Anyone?
Okay, cool. So, as you make your way down towards this encampment, you find yourself passing what appeared at first to be a normal wall. But you catch it just in time as a hand reaches out to grab you. As you turn, you see that this wall, while it is made of hardened magma, igneous rock, it is also just completely... It's like the igneous rock is the cement and the bricks are damned souls just reaching out to get out. Among them, one figure, a night hag, is also like stuck into this wall, although not reaching out and struggling like the rest of them. This night hag appears to have welcomed her fate, or is at least accepting it.
Does Kashan know what this wall is and how to potentially free somebody from its grasp?
You will need to roll me religion on that.
Okay. He's gonna pop out guidance for this. Figuring that he's not in as much of an immediate danger. He can take the second to go ahead and boost his mind magically. And then I forgot to add the 1d4.
Okay, 17.
That is 17.
You've had really good rolls so far. I'm wondering, like, it's gonna be something really important when it just crashes. Okay, so you recognize the handiwork from your from books and that, but never seen it up close. This is a wall of the damned, and it was built by the damned ones. They are undead, fiendish warriors in the hells.
So no way that he knows to go and rescue the night hag from it.
I forgot that was part of the question, so let me just... so there is multiple options. There is to remove the body itself just forcefully, but the problem is these are, while physical here, they are still just souls. So releasing it would release the soul, but not necessarily like bring the creature back to life. The other option is to make a to buy the soul from the damned one who put it there.
Sean is going to turn to the night hag. Hello, sibling of the Inferno. Do you know where your captors lie?
She, as you get closer to her to begin talking to her, you realize that while she isn't moving much, and like you don't even see her mouth moving, like she is just like constantly whispering, almost incoherent babble, but every so often you hear words. Yes, you hear words. So you, as you go to begin your sentence to her, she picks up a bit, and you hear the end of the sentence that she speaks, which is
a fate intertwined with force of both material
And then, as though in response to your question, she, with what's available with her hands, just barely peeking out, you just see one finger just kind of like drift off to point at the camp down below.
Thank you, sister. And Kashan is going to cautiously sneak towards the camp, wild shaping into a stealthier creature.
You know?
1 second. Because if he's in wild shape, his brand instead, his nowhere tattoo, instead of,
Sure. What are we thinking? Bat?
That seems pretty good.
Bat out of hell.
I can't fly though. That's right. I can't fly at this level. It's like, yeah, bat will work.
Oh, when do you get to
So-
fly?
It's like level 6 or something like that.
Did not know
If
that.
not later, it might be level 8. Probably gonna go ahead and just go with the cat, I guess.
Sure. All right.
Going for this, black cat, green eyes, looks like something out of a Disney movie that would be, following a witch.
Exactly. Yeah.
As he shapeshifts down and just very stealthily makes his way towards the camp.
All right. So,
Wild shape.
as you make your way down there, I need you to give me a Constitution save for the heat. I don't know, let me double check if you get like advantage on that or anything for being a denizen of hell.
Not that I can think of. I don't have resistance to fire.
Yeah, we'll just get a normal con save from you then.
Okay. Using the cat's constitution is only +0. That'll be a flat d20.
Oof. Okay. All right. So. That was really good. So as you make your way down, you feel your paws, your little toe beans, basically fusing to the hot ground beneath you, and you are gonna take a bit of damage. That up. Yep. Go. Alright, so you took 4 damage.
Sure enough, cat bursts into flames, and Kashan stands there slightly worse for wear.
So you, yes, you're sneaking down the hill, or down towards the camp, and as you do so, as you get closer and closer, eventually you poof back into Kassan, and there are Do you know, I didn't get a stealth roll from you, so you can give me the stealth with the cat's statistics first if you want. Before we,
Okay.
before I decide.
Before it bursts into flames.
Yeah. See how hidden you are by the time you put back. Okay.
17.
Good. Right, so you put back into Kassan form just as you reach the camp. You are just behind a tent. The tent itself is made of cured leather and bone. You appear to have been successful in your stealth, although it's now going to be trickier to get around the camp or anything as full-size Kassan. But for the time being, you're hit.
Sean is going to try to stealthily rummage through what's nearby, looking for any sort of infernal contract or other means of which that these creatures are controlling that hag's soul.
Ah, I see. Okay. So, what we'll do is roll investigation.
He's definitely not casting a spell before it this time.
Cool. His guidance
18.
got verbal components or anything? It does, yes.
I think so, but he's not dumb enough to do that.
I hereby guide myself to be stealthy.
Yeah.
I like it. I like giving. When I run kobolds, I like to have them do sneak attacks by shouting "Snake attack!"
I just did a kobold in a one-shot, and the draconic cry was literally just him screaming as loud as possible to distract all the enemies.
I mean, yeah, that actually really makes sense, though.
First time, it's because they didn't realize anything could do that. The second time is they didn't think, surely they can't do it a second time. There's a reason why you can only do it twice per day.
That's smart.
Vocal cords give out after that.
Yeah. Okay, so with your 18, you are rummaging through, and unfortunately, you're not finding any contracts or anything like that. Although what you do find is, let me get this, you find a bag that has some soul coins in, which you are, I think, familiar with. I think you found one of those before. So you know they're
back with the Ronkin pile.
Yeah, so they are obviously expensive and even more valuable in hell. You also find a leather scroll. I don't think there's much paper going on down here, and it depicts a figure adorned in armor made of starlight, locked in combat with a horde of demons. The inscription beneath speaks of a champion destined to bring balance to the cosmic scales, although it is the way it's worded is implies that they don't know how this is going to happen. Bit of a prophecy, but without specifics, essentially.
Question remains, does this refer to myself? Enna? Her starlight apparition? Or is this just a bunch of narcissism to think that it'd be any of us? Mutters to himself as he puts the scroll away for later.
Definitely narcissistic. This is about me.
Or Enna, or her starlight apparition. But to be fair, he is a starlight apparition, technically.
True.
That's the best type of being something, is technically.
Alright, so with that, as you're rummaging through this stuff, you catch out of the corner of your eye the red devils moving about, and you realize that they are in fact tieflings. Many of them are carrying out manual labor. They don't they're not free, essentially. And the large the bigger of the group you can see is a devil of some sort. He has a kind of patchwork of different colors on his skin. Very literal patchwork. Appears almost Frankenstein's monster-esque. But his infernal kind of appearance shines through all of that. You can tell that he is a big old devil. Actually, because you got a really good religion earlier, you would recognize this description as a damned one. One of the people that did the wall.
Sean is going to kind of ponder for a second. Attacking the damned one. Does he know if killing the damned one would free those souls, or just leave them trapped?
You are unsure. You aren't the legends and lore that you're aware of. These things are powerful enough that most people haven't been able to fight one and succeed themselves, although you, standing, hiding behind this tent, feel like you are at least an even match for it should you fight it.
Well, I do so hate to lose a sneak attack, but if that hag can be rescued, perhaps she can help me understand my powers greater. Then again, if this man has the shard, tells me he will not give it up without a fight. Sean kind of ponders for a second. Before pulling out his little gilded acorn. When he was taking damage as the cat earlier, did it seem to be like the air itself was burning him, or just touching the ground?
The air is it's painful to breathe, but it's not doing like points of damage. The ground itself is sore on bare feet, essentially.
Got it. He looks down at the acorn. Well, what do you think? Sneak attack? And he casts Summon Beast, summoning a bird this time.
Okey-doke.
This does use a verbal component.
You have already been talking to yourself a lot, so we can just say that your verbal component is a whisper, the same as the rest of your talking.
Alrighty.
I think it's fair to say there is a good bit of noise going on with the manual labor that's happening as well, so your voice is drowned out a bit by that.
Well, Kashan is going to go ahead and position himself a good bit away from that guy.
Yeah.
Like, he knows how long his guiding bolt can reach. So he's going to go ahead and put himself a good 90 feet away from this monster.
Sure.
Close enough that he can still hit if this guy has average running speed and runs away, but far enough away that he should be able to try to kite. And he's going to have the bird sit by him, ready to dash out at him. We can get the bird.
The damned one, or by you, sorry?
By me.
Okay.
The bird is sitting by me at this time.
Sure.
But he's going to go ahead and start off combat with just one of his free guiding bolts.
Alrighty, Rue. Go for it. Let's see. You can just back anywhere if you need to as well.
A 16 to hit.
Duke. 16 is a hit.
Not a whole lot of radiant damage, but enough.
Oh, let me double check, see if he's got his radiance does anything. Why do I have the curse of the DM? So many tabs. No, sorry, that's my bad. I just needed to double check. Okay, so yes, your radiant does the normal amount of damage, and you have alerted him to your presence now. So he turns to face the direction that the guiding bolt came from, and he says,
Who dares attack Astaroth in his own domain?
As
The bird, which I'm now deciding is a parrot, flies towards him 60 feet. So the bird's still 30 feet away.
Okay.
Who dares? Who dares? Who dares? Who?
Is it an owl?
No, it's a parrot.
So he sees you, and he is going to attack with I messed that up. Okay, same result. Okay, he attacks with 2 Eldritch Blasts. Both of them whiz past you. As well, let's say one of them whizzes past you and the other whizzes past the mocking parrot as he shouts again.
All right.
Yeah, go for it.
Gosh darn battery wasn't charging. Okay. Hopefully that will work. Sean is going to go ahead, hold his ground, and launch another guiding bolt. I believe this guiding bolt is with advantage. Next attack roll made before the end of your next turn. Yes.
Sure. Awesome.
So this one has advantage.
Oh,
Nat 20.
Fucking knew it was going to be that funny. I was so sure it was going to be that funny. Okay, so. Yeah, let's roll that damage.
There we go. Critical hit. 35 radiant damage.
35 radiant damage. Okay. You have knocked him down. He is at he has 0 hit points. But we'll say he is not quite dead. He is down but not out at the moment, as he falls to his knees as the radiance pierces a gaping hole through his shoulder, just completely dislocating his spell casting arm. He falls to his knees and looks up at you and all of the tieflings. The tieflings look as though they're about to take this opportunity to maul him. You can intervene if you want to speak with him before he dies, or you can watch as they kill him, or you can have the pleasure of doing it yourself.
Sean looks down at this, walks up to this man. His bird lands on the guy's shoulder and starts to, peck at some of the strands holding his stitched skin together.
Nice.
And he's, trying to, go and detach that arm.
It's working.
Uh-huh.
It's just, bit by bit, peeling off now, yeah.
What was the old saying? If you find yourself in prison, come up to the biggest guy you see and teach him a lesson. I believe this has worked out well. You're the jailer for that wall over there, aren't you?
He, kind of pushes through the pain just enough to, spit at your feet.
Wonderful. Well, Sean is going to rummage through the guy's belongings on him, trying to find a contract or a trinket, something that could be controlling that wall, if this guy's not going to be helpful.
Sure.
As the bird continues to go and disarm him, quite literally.
The first thing you find is the shard. The next thing you find is a booklet. Like a small hand-sized journal. Opening it, you can see that it is filled with pages, filled with contracts, on every single leather-bound page. You are aware, not just through your religion check, but just general awareness of religion in general, that most souls that find their way into the hells are usually evil to begin with, so you would be possibly, it's up to you, but you would know caution is probably a good idea.
Sean is going to look for any traditional night hag names in the book.
Awesome. Okay. So, looking through, you do see a couple, actually. From what you can tell, the front pages as you go through are obviously earlier additions to this wall, and the later pages are newer additions. You do see a very late edition one, presumably one of the newer ones, called Bonnie Bone Gums.
Sean is going to look over that particular contract. Is this like an entire page dedicated to Bonnie?
Yes.
Or is it like a line in the page? The entire page?
An entire page, yeah. It's as though it was like copied and pasted from an original contract into the book, from what you can tell, because everything's like squished down and smaller.
He is going to go ahead. First pull out his ink pen and try to write something to the effect of voiding the contract.
Ah, smart. Okay. Roll me... There's no litigious check. Roll me intelligence.
Okay. Like, yeah, it could either be like religion, arcana, history. Oh no. That's a nat 1.
So, as you add to the contract, you unwittingly, while simultaneously voiding the contract and succeeding in what you technically wanted to do, you unwittingly sign her soul over to you permanently, as she immediately appears on your back.
Ah, thank you, dearie. Just getting mighty uncomfortable there. Old Bonnie Bone Gums doesn't really fancy herself for a damned war.
One can hardly blame you, sister. He turns down to the, stitchwork devil monster undead thing, the dam.
Yeah.
And looks up at Bonnie. If it's alright with you, I'm gonna let the tieflings have their fun with this one.
Oh, can we at least stay to watch?
That's fine by me.
And yeah.
And Kashan is just gonna go ahead and try to fiddle with the piece of the box to try to get it to connect to the other piece.
Cool. All right. With that, you see the tieflings just pulling him apart. Not unlike the Tannoy thing from last time, but this guy comes apart more like a gruesome jigsaw puzzle. As you connect the two parts of this relic, they snap together like magnets. The seam is completely invisible, and you can tell that it's completely solid. There is no like joining in there anymore. And with that, the actual relic tries to move out of your hand, not suddenly and not with too much force, but enough to kind of say, come on, let's go.
Does it seem to be pointing me in a particular direction, like the next piece is here on the hills?
Sorry, I
or
missed.
more like, use me.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, in a use me situation, Sean is going to have his little bird flutter down to his shoulder, and he turns down to Bonnie.
Well, it seems that the two of us have become two peas in a pod, thanks to my poor handwriting. How would you like to escape this place for now before we discuss what comes next?
Oh, please do.
It is getting a little toasty for my likes.
Gashan
He's a
holds
comedian.
the...
I like you.
He activates the cube to teleport.
Alright. So... Oh, I should have done this last time. Alright, so as you step through, you find yourself... Let's see... Good go... Let's do this one. No, that's the wrong one. Boop, this one. You find yourself floating. You don't hit the ground this time, as you so often do, and you see that you are just floating in nothingness. You can still feel like there is some substance to the air around you. You know that like you can like push yourself forward as though swimming, but it's still light enough that you can see that the Bonnie Bone Gums is basically just like slowly like started to detach from your back, although she's still holding on fiercely.
He's going to hold out the box and try to point it around in different directions to see if he can get a feel for where he needs to go.
Sure. All around you, in every direction, you can see what appear to be celestial bodies, planets, moons, distant stars, but all of them, every single one, is connected by a sinewy tentacle type thing, and you're very aware that this is where the aberrations came from that you faced in Tannoy Town. Looking around, pointing, you see that. Let me see. There is a central mass in the local kind of vicinity. Looking around, you can see that this is just one of many. It almost looks like a synapse. Is that the right thing? Synapse. Yeah, one of those things. I looked up synapse and I just got keyboards from Razer. So, yeah, you can see that it's leading you in there. There is a glowing center to this massive object, and you can see that while it itself is moving very slowly and on this like cosmic scale, the inside seems to be swarming with things. They may be alive, they may be dead. It's hard to tell. You just see objects floating in its interior. You know that's the direction you need to go. You can see giant whales in the distance, floating among the stars. You can see pirate ships as well, which catches you a little bit off guard. You've not really heard of anything like that. And you see a face. You see a face on one of these celestial bodies. It appears to be a moon at first glance, but as you float through space towards your destination, you get the feeling that it is watching you. Much like our own moon, you're only ever seeing one side of it, as this massive moon face is like rotating to look at you at all times. You can hear something. Can I either have a wisdom save, or you can choose to fail?
Having just interacted with Aberrance, I don't think Kashan's willing to take that risk.
Okay, wisdom save.
That said, it might not matter.
Well, it's worked a bit as you try to ignore the strange sounds that seem to be telepathically sent into your mind. Some of them are translated nonetheless. They send spikes through your mind with every single word that is translated, as though your brain is working millions of times harder than it ever should. And you hear a few snippets, which I'll say to you now. You hear the word next. You're not sure if that is from the context, you think that it's a name, whether it's this moon's name or something else, you're not sure. It speaks of dual destiny, chaos and destruction. And Kassan.
Wonderful. More riddles for the future. Tell me, Barney, have you ever seen a creature such as this?
Only in my nightmares. Well, not my nightmares per se. Other people's nightmares. I just happen to, tag along.
Oracles, I take it? Or just children who ate something they shouldn't have before bed?
Oh, now that you mention it, yeah. Oracles of prophets, that kind of thing. Ever been to Öskular?
Indeed.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah,
Feels like home almost with how warm it is.
Very true. There's a lovely little place. Plenty of nightmares going for a night hag such as ourselves. It's called the Altar of Infinity. Should you ever get a hankering for some bad dream.
I'll have to keep that in mind. Thank you. Now, that said, I don't think either of us wishes to stay here for too long. I've seen what mere exposure to aberrance does to a man.
Well, you
While
better
we
get
may
a
be
move on then.
fiends, we are not in.
Bet you wish you had fins, you could swim a bit faster.
They're overrated. And Kashan begins to try to push himself towards where he's feeling the pull from, his little bird flapping behind him.
Cool.
Or actually fluttering on ahead to scout.
Sure. The bird itself is able to fly and is still faster than you, but you can tell that its movements are almost out of control. Like it's trying to fly in water. It's kind of confused, but it's still doing as you say. It's just he's just a bit messed up. So, as you eventually arrive in the mouth of this giant sign up, you find it is what could only be described as a word, a dock. You see that those silhouetted ships that you'd seen from so far away were yet more of these ships. The creatures that you see on board are like nothing you've ever seen before. Yellowy green skin, horned features, upturned noses. They are, as you can imagine, Githyanki.
But Kashan's never seen a Gith before.
No.
Got it.
Their whole the fact that there's any civilization in here at all is, for lack of better words, quite alien to you.
Well, Barney, dearest, I trust, as a night hag yourself, you have some similar magics. Kashan snaps his finger and casts disguise self, turning into a Gith.
He says,
Oh, don't you worry, darling. Nobody can see me except you.
as she leans over your shoulder and kind of just like her eyes are like her face is like basically touching yours as her eye like looks into your eye. And then she gets back and she's still just like holding onto your back.
Sean is trying to look self-important, but not, just trying to like go and look like a mid-level soldier.
Sure. Are you
Kind
going
of wandering around the camp?
You're disguising as Geth, yeah?
Yep.
Cool. So, arriving, you do see that there are a few people. They haven't witnessed your transformation or your disguise specifically. Let's say you did it as you were like rounding behind some sort of boat or something, because you would have seen these people beforehand. So as you approach, you see that they're kind of like waiting for you at the docks, and they say, I wish I like knew all the like slang and like insults from Baldur's Gate. I'll have to like read up on that. But anyway, they say,
Are you stupid?
You dare.
Why else would you
And you
be
hear the
swimming around in the far rooms with no protection?
I simply needed to go and stretch some muscles. Positions, orders, you see. I get cramps.
I love that. You like show them, like you pull up a trouser leg and show them that you've got like one of those horrible like cramps where your legs all fucking like twitching like it's full of worms or something. So you, as you say that, you can see that these people have ranks and stuff on their clothing, but having disguised yourself from a distance, you don't have the same kind of insignia on your clothing. Basically, you would have had to have made one up as you disguised. So up to you what that looks like, but they don't recognize it.
From what colony are you?
Colony Zeta 12. Can't you tell by the signal of the gilded squid?
Okay, now you can roll me deception. You can have advantage for your disguised self.
nice. All right, thanks goodness for advantage.
Yeah, 16. So they look at you. One of them goes,
Never heard of it.
another one goes,
I have. Really? Yeah, it's just past Sector 11. Ah, never been that far.
and they start walking off together. As you are left to your lonesome, or as lonely as you can get, with a parrot and a night hag attached to your back. You can see and feel that your little amulet thing that you've got is pulling you in a direction towards the closest docked ship. It is it's a very large vessel. It appears, if you were to compare it to vessels on the material plane for like sea travel, it's more of a cargo ship than a navy vessel or something like that.
Sean is going to go ahead and kind of start to like climb up the ship from like an official beams, not like trying to sneak aboard.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Heading towards the first kind of available official way to do that. You are met with people that are very busy taking like vigorous notes in notebooks, while other people are like wheeling carts full, like stacked high with boxes up a slope. They are actually, you can roll me perception at this point. Cool.
19.
So, as you listen, you hear that there are people, the people going on board are mostly being questioned about the type of cargo they've got, but the people, you know, signing them in are asking every single one of them, like, are you one of Jacoby's boys? God damn it, where is he? We're in a rush. That's what you get from your perception.
Sean is just gonna kind of like glance around, feeling the medallion in his pocket, trying to, you know, pinpoint where its missing piece could be.
As you are kind of approaching these two people, or, you know, as slowly as you want to, you can see that it is about a third of the ship below the deck, so it's probably on the first basement floor, or whatever you would call it, just below deck.
Sean is gonna look around to see if there is a hole in the wood, like a little knot, a little eye in the wood that lets him peek down.
Yep, sure. You before you get that far, before you're on the deck proper, you are eventually stopped by these two people that are like signing everybody on them.
Are you one of Jacoby's boys?
Regrettably, yes.
And
I apologize for the delay. I was informed of this far too late to be timely.
Back in Jacoby.
they say,
well then, where is it? Where's the goods?
That's why he sent me ahead. He said I have to make sure there is proper room and proper storage. I don't get what the whole bloody deal is, but he was quite insistent that I inspect storage hold myself.
um,
And I'd love to just take your word for it, but You know Jacoby.
Alrighty, Ray. You can give me a deception with advantage there.
You know if I go back, he'll throw me under a zone of truth and make me promise I looked with my own 2 eyes.
Fuck, he's got majors now too. Look, we've got your cabin properly cooled. Ain't nothing waking up in there, but fine, I'll show you.
And he hands his clipboard to the other guy, who's like looks annoyed as though he has to do double the work now, and he leads you on board. You go down a flight of stairs, and you can feel the pull of your trinket telling you to stop at this floor, but the guy continues ahead, going down further.
Yes. Quite the impressive vessel, I must say.
Yeah, well, she's done us this long.
Yes.
Even more impressive with a GIF as a captain.
As he continues down, he's ahead of you though.
I think Kashan's gonna go ahead and just kind of look at him. You know, I prefer not to have to make the trip back up again. I do have to inspect what will be stored directly above it in the event of structural collapse. Don't mind, I'll start on the top floor and meet you down there.
He says, You're fucking good at coming up with this on the fly. He says,
This ship has been going well strong for about 2,000 years, and Jacoby's all, oh, what if the fucking roof collapses? Absolute prick. Alright.
It's Jacoby, what do you expect?
Alright, don't be
And, I won't be. I just need enough to be able to say, I looked with my own 2 eyes. And so, I'm going to go ahead and enter the room, but I'm feeling the pull too.
okay. As you do so, you see that it is filled with crates. It's like the warehouse from Indiana Jones. You feel like, oh no, this is going to take forever. When you see actually, do you know what? Give me a perception check. Tell you if it does take forever.
And I think that Kashan feels safe enough to go ahead and break out the... Wait, no, he can't break out the guidance because he'll lose his bird. Never mind. Oof.
Alright. So, you are unaware of it for a while, right? So you walk around, basically pointing your amulet at each box, trying to figure out where this thing is. By the time you actually find it, you find it is in what is essentially a glass jewelry display case that has been attached to the far wall. Inside you can see various different strange, almost definitely otherworldly gemstones that you don't recognize. They have an luminescence to some of them. Some of them show colors that your brain just can't comprehend. And as you look, you see the shard that you're looking for right in the center on a little cushion. It has a ring. It is embedded into a ring, and just as you find it, because you rolled under that, because you rolled poorly on that, the guys come in looking for you. You can hear him wandering around the boxes now too, going,
Oi! Oi, where are you? You said it would only be a couple of seconds.
and he's
It would have been if I hadn't found this. And he points to the shard. Mind telling me what the hell this is doing on a standard cargo ship?
Well, I don't know. I ain't got my inventory. What is it?
It's dangerous, is what it is.
Oh,
It needs to be wrapped up a little bit more carefully than just slapped into a ring and stored under glass.
we ship all sorts of dangerous
This
shit.
is why Jacoby's so anal about everything, I suppose. I'm beginning to see his point of view.
All right, well, if it's that big a deal, so.
and he picks his key ring that's on his belt and starts rifling through keys.
It's got to be one of these things.
He eventually tries the correct one, and the case opens with a Star Wars automatic door hiss, just a nice.
Don't touch it yourself. This is why I keep the parrot. And I have the bird go and pick it up cautiously.
All right, okay. You got. Hey, the power worked for the pirate ship stuff, actually.
Yeah.
So he watches as you say that this is very dangerous, and then you get your parrot to pick it up. And while the parrot is doing a very good, delicate job, it does immediately arouse suspicion as you pick it up. He is immediately suspicious as to wait, what did I just do? Why are you taking it out of the box? And he let's see. I am going to roll him a check to see if he's going to see through your disguise.
Okay. Investigation is DC 13, rules as written.
Okie doke. Alright, you got a 14. Flat. So, as he begins to get suspicious, he looks at you and looks at the parrot and questions everything he's done, and for a brief moment he looks up just over your shoulder and panics, and you can feel the hot breath of this or the cold breath maybe of this hag leaning over your shoulder as he for a moment sees her, then sees you and panics, taking out a gun.
Only I can see you. Wasn't that exactly what you said, Bonnie dearest?
Well, that's supposed to be the case. Maybe he's having a nightmare. What are you? You're not Jacoby's man.
Kashan is going to go and hold out the medallion up to his bird, letting the pieces clink together.
And it forms
says,
a solid Huguenot.
No, but I am the reason you're going to be written up by your superiors. Apologies.
I activate the device.
Awesome. Alright. So, as you activate it, a portal opens and you are thrust back through again. This time, you are followed, chased by that guard who has jumped in after you to try and like save his career, and not realizing what he's just got himself into. He's flying through the thing. He's hurling up, so there's just like a spiral of puke following both of you, and you can see at the very bottom of this tunnel that you are going to arrive back with your friends. And this whole thing has took several days, we'll say, in the material plane, with the time dilation stuff. And we'll leave it there.
Okay. Awesome.
This stream was made possible thanks to my amazing Patreon supporters, so thank you all so much for your support, and a great big thanks to the Dastardly DMs, Whimsical Wisp and Moxie the Demon. This stream was made possible thanks to my amazing Patreon supporters, so thank you all so much for your support, and a great big thanks to the Dastardly DMs, Whimsical Wisp and Moxie the Demon.